welcome to our second major Kanab video start. If you missed the first one, I will definitely link it in the description. I'll try to put it overhead as well. Anyway, this is the second one, and we are kicking it off here at Peekaboo or Red Rock Canyon, something like that.
Canyon. Yeah,
Red Canyon. Anyway, it's a really cool slot canyon. Let's go check it out.
Getting to Peekaboo Canyon, also known as Red Canyon, turned out to be part of the adventure. The sandy access road was much softer and deeper than it appeared in photos, making the drive more exciting than we expected. Once we started hiking, it didn't take long to realize that photos weren't doing this place justice either. The colorful sandstone walls rose high above us, and the canyon felt taller and narrower than we had imagined. As we continued deeper into the canyon, the twisting passages and soaring walls created a landscape that was far more impressive in person than any picture could capture. Before long, we reached the end of the canyon and our turnaround point. While the hike itself wasn't especially long, the combination of colorful sandstone walls and narrow passages made it a memorable start to this week around Kanab.
So Peekaboo Canyon, and more specifically what I'm going to talk about is the drive to and fro.
Yeah.
If you read in All Trails, if you read everything, a lot of people hike down because the road is fairly serious, especially if you don't have a tremendous amount of off-roading and or sand experience. While Alana and I are quite experienced when it comes to off-roading, we're actually pretty green when it comes to sand. So we aired down the tires a little bit on the way down. Once I got down there and I knew that it was such a climb back up, I aired down even more for the way back up. The Jeep actually did very, very well.
Great.
We were very pleased with it. But honestly, my strategy was pretty simple. I channeled my inner Jeremy Clarkson and
speed and power, that's the solution.
And it worked out. We made it. It was a really neat canyon. It is worth the hike, but honestly, I think if you wanted to explore it, doing one of the tours is probably the best way to do it, or at least renting a side-by-side or something that's going to handle that sand terrain. Especially as the season gets later, the sand gets dry, it gets deeper, and it gets even more challenging. For us, there was rain the evening before, which made it a whole heck of a lot better for our route back and forth. Enough about that. You've probably guessed, we're in a new location. We are at Coral Pink Sand Dunes. Let's go check them out.
After checking out the overlook, we kicked off our shoes and set out on the park's nature trail.
We're going down this way. Okay, stop. Hey. Come here. Ooh, Cookie Mom.
This trail winds through the smaller dunes around the overlook. We were surprised by how cool the sand felt under our feet, especially under the desert sun. Walking through it wasn't always easy though. Some sections were rocky enough to make us question going barefoot, while the deeper sand took more effort to cross than we expected. Hiking isn't the only way to experience the sand dunes. The park is also popular for sandboarding and sledding, with rentals at the visitor center. Off-highway vehicles are allowed in designated areas, making it possible to explore the dunes from an entirely different perspective.
What do you think, Abby? You like this?
Abby,
Mom's going this way. Here she goes.
Ready? Let's go.
You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. No exploring yesterday. We decided just to sort of take the day and focus on some gotta do's. I worked on our most recent video upload that drops tonight.
And I did laundry.
You did laundry. We did some other cleaning
Some
stuff
of
and
it.
just sort of hung out at camp. It was tough because it was a really lovely weather
it
day
was.
yesterday. It also is today, and we are out to explore. This time we're going to check out the Dinosaur Tracks Trail.
Yes.
Only shows 1.2 miles on all
Yeah.
trails, but it says hard, and I think that's because of some rock scrambling, as well as some of the
Yes.
the elevation
Yeah.
gain over such a short distance. Who knows? Let's go find out.
The Dinosaur Tracks Trail leads to a series of fossilized dinosaur footprints preserved in the sandstone. It sounded like a fun excuse to stretch our legs and add a little prehistoric history to our time around Kanab.
Okay. Go ahead. Is that the way, Abby? Is that the way we're supposed to go? Show me.
This way. Yeah.
Yeah, she's judging you.
Years of weathering have made the tracks difficult to spot, and we found ourselves looking harder than expected. Even so, standing where dinosaurs once walked is a reminder that we were not the first ones here.
You ready to start this early day, Abby? Good Memorial Day weekend. That's right. We have now officially kicked it off. Not only that, but it's the beginning of my official vacation time. So no more work interruptions. We're going to be able to really crank up the exploring, and that begins today. The footage you just saw was a backhaul service here in Glen Canyon. We made our way around Horseshoe Bend all the way up to the dam. And now we're just going to ease our way back down the river, take in the views, and have one heck of a relaxing day. Okay, Abby, in. Good girl, good girl.
One of the activities we were most excited about in the area was kayaking the Colorado River below Glen Canyon Dam. When we first started researching the trip, the info said no dogs in the park or on vessels. Rather than giving up on the idea, we reached out directly to the backhaul company and were happy to learn that bringing Abby along wouldn't be a problem at all. And as you saw, she enjoyed her first motorized boat trip. The morning temperatures were chilly enough that I was especially thankful for the blankets provided by the captain as we made our way through the canyon. Before dropping us off, he even took us closer to Glen Canyon Dam, giving us a unique perspective on the massive structure towering above the river. Once we finally launched, the experience quickly lived up to our expectations. As we paddled downstream, both of us found ourselves constantly looking around in amazement. Massive canyon walls rose hundreds of feet above the water on both sides, making us feel incredibly small in the best possible way. The route is well equipped for paddlers, with campsites and restroom facilities located roughly every couple of miles along the river. One of those stops even includes a short walk to view ancient petroglyphs, adding a little human history to a landscape that already feels timeless. Between the scenery, the peaceful water, and getting to share it all with Abby, it was easy to see why this is considered one of the premier paddling experiences in the Southwest. Most people visit Horseshoe Bend from the famous overlook above, but seeing it from the river gave us a completely different perspective. From the bottom, it was much easier to appreciate the sheer scale of the canyon and the river that carved it.
Abby. We did.
By this point, the day was starting to get pretty warm, but we still had plenty of river left to enjoy. The canyon walls continued to surround us, and every bend seemed to offer another incredible view of the Colorado River winding through the desert landscape. Fortunately, the scenery made it easy to forget how many miles we still had ahead of us. The day's final stop would be Waterholes Canyon. After spending the morning surrounded by canyon walls from the river, it was time to experience them on foot.
So Alana and Abby had to wait back, more back at the boat. As we got walking in here, Abby started doing her little hot foot dance. So we checked the ground temperature, and all of a sudden the sand sort of changed color. It's holding a lot of heat. So Alana decided to stay back with her so I could come in and get some footage.
Yeah, go, go. Go.
Hey baby, you going my way?
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Before we get into today, Glen Canyon and the paddle, it was absolutely lovely. I really can't put words to it. One thing I will say, and it might just be us and our paddling. It might be our boat. I don't know. But we had anticipated with that distance, frankly, an easier paddle than what we experienced because it's downriver. And there were moments where we hit sort of warp zone and we hit the current right.
Yeah.
But our boat, we seem to just sort of keep getting pushed aside of the main current.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of energy on just keeping the boat pointed correctly.
Yeah.
So we had to paddle quite a bit to do that. Not a complaint.
No.
Just sort of preparing for if you think it's going to be a lazy river.
It's not.
A lazy river
No.
experience. But we enjoyed it
Yes.
nonetheless, at least until the end. When I was exploring that last canyon up to that little pool
Halfway,
area, a little past halfway,
Yeah,
Abby, while she was waiting in the shade, she got bit by a fire ant and was sort of lame and carrying a foot. Luckily, all's okay. We took yesterday off as a break to give her time to make sure that she was going to handle it okay.
Yes.
But all okay. But she got a boo-boo, so
Yes.
we had to slow down the footage and put a little more focus on her. Now, Today, we are at Buckskin Gulch.
Yes.
This is sort of our last big exploration day, so we're hoping it's a grand finale.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Buckskin Gulch is often considered one of the longest continuous slot canyons in the world, with nearly 16 miles of narrow passages and sculpted sandstone. To explore a portion of it, we started our hike from the upper trailhead.
Go, go, go.
Before continuing to the narrow section, we made a short detour to Ed Meyer's Secret. Reaching it required a walk through a deep sandy wash, but the unique sandstone formations made the extra effort worthwhile. With colorful ridges, swirling patterns, and a plenty of interesting textures, it felt like a completely different landscape. It also made for a pretty good snack stop before continuing on. As we continued down the trail, the canyon gradually narrowed until the wide wash gave way to the slot canyon section we had come to see. The Navajo sandstone walls rose higher overhead, and the route became more enclosed with every turn. At the Wire Pass Junction, we turned right to explore another popular section of the canyon system. Not surprisingly, this was also where we encountered the largest crowds of the day. One obstacle along the route required a little teamwork when Jay helped Abby up a ladder that would have been difficult for her to manage on her own. From there, we followed the upper loop back out, where Abby happily practiced following commands instead of her parkour skills.
Okay, to mom. Easy, easy. Easy, easy.
With our hike coming to an end, we made our way back toward the trailhead. Between the narrow canyon passages, colorful formations, and the constantly changing scenery along the route, it was easy to see why Buckskin Gulch has become such a popular destination.
Hey, honey.
Yeah.
Is the trail sandy?
Was the trail sandy?
Yeah.
I think it was a little sandy.
I think it was a little sandy.
Yeah. Well, what a lovely final hike for this
Yes.
Kanab visit. In fact, we were talking a little bit while we were out on the trail, and we felt like if you only had time for one thing, that particular trail offers a really good diversity. The road in gives you a little bit of that off-road flair with a little bit of a forestry gravel road in. You've got some of the open views. If you take the little extra loop like we did, then you also have some pink sand to walk in. And of course, you've got those slot canyons. So really a lot. The only thing it's really missing is some hoodoos, and it's just down the road
Yeah,
from where the
just a little
trailhead is the trailhead that we used. So you could easily add that in for a second thing if you had a full day. For us, this is the end of the road for Kanab. We are moving further north and on to new things. Hopefully you enjoyed part 1. Part 2, tell us your thoughts, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next week. Thanks for watching. Good night.